Welcome to the 7th edition of the Press Preps Roundtable. I am Tony Mealy, joined by Scott Springer. We are without Nick Dukovic once more this week as he is at home tending to his wife and new daughter. But today we'll be discussing the state wrestling tournament as well as looking ahead to this week's basketball action. Scott, what were your impressions from the state tournament last week?
Well, Moeller cleaned up. Jeff Geyer does the job again at 125 pounds. Joey Ward, state champion. As a junior, best story around. His stepbrother is Chaz Gresham, D2 champion from Goshen at 189. Do not mess with that family. They will take you down, without a doubt. Also for Moeller, 119, Brian McVeigh, a third place finish. Dean Meyer, Jerry Thornberry, Chalmer Fruoff, all placers, 8th, and 4th, all freshmen. Freshmen at upper weights. These kids have baby fat still, and they're winning and they're placing in the state tournament. Amazing.
Yeah, Moeller once again just looks absolutely loaded for now and for the future. Looking at some of my beats though, I had several guys unfortunately finish as state runners-up. Looking at LaSalle's junior Max Bird at 119, which was, many people thought was maybe the deepest, toughest weight class in the state this year. Max Bird advances all the way to the finals and then loses 7-2. But you know, he's a junior. He's a 3-time state placer. He'll probably be back next year for that fourth crack at a state title. This year he was seeking to become the first Lancer to win state since Neil Meyer in 1976, so it's been a while. So I'll be curious to see what Max does next year as a senior. But also looking at Elder. Elder had 2 state runner-ups this year with Kevin Highland and Ian Korb. As a team, they still finished 4th at state, I believe. But looking at Ian Korb, he had maybe the most heartbreaking loss of any wrestler in any division this past weekend. He entered the state tournament 35-0. He goes all the way to the finals, and then he loses in sudden death overtime to finish the year 38-1. But you know, Ian is a guy who's going to have a very promising career at Penn next year and just throughout his career there. But you know, once again, it was a tough loss for him. But I'm sure that eventually he'll look back on this and realize that what he did this year, going 38-1, was just phenomenal. But looking at basketball this week, Scott, what's your most compelling matchup?
Well, I've got 3. I never can narrow it down to one. Withrow and Troy, and Withrow might pull this one off. They've got Aaron Thomas, they've got Devin Williams. Don't forget about Carl Porter, the guy who can sky. He's the forgotten guy there. Moeller and Trotwood, Madison, Byers, Barlow, Galimo, Sabato. It might be for Moeller because Trotwood Madison's pretty good. But Moeller's 20-2. Winton Woods, Huber Heights, Wayne. Winton Woods has Samaje Kristen, Dennis Thomas, Dion Dearman, Thomas Owens. Oh, wait a minute, you forgot about Mark Ellison. This guy, the 5th leading scorer on the team, scored 18 against Middletown. They're going to face Huber Heights Wayne, who scored, I think, 101 points. Wayne's pretty good. I don't know if Winton Woods, the 8th seed, can hang with them. So I'm going to go Withrow as the only winner out of the bunch.
Yeah,
I might not be popular after that.
Well, those are some explosive games you have on tap there. For me, I think the most compelling matchup this week is Saturday night at 9 p.m. at UD Arena. It's Princeton versus Lakota East. Those were the top 2 teams in the GMC this year. Princeton went 0-2 against East. They lost by 6 points in early December and then by 8 points at home in early February. A few days after that February loss, I talked to Ulysses Thomas, Princeton's senior star player. He said that he thought his team was so amped up and so excited to show the home crowd they could beat Lakota East that they played with just a little too much energy, a little too much emotion. And he said then that he's pretty confident that if they met in the playoffs, they could beat them, you know, if they keep their emotions in check. So, you know, that's a very interesting matchup for me this week. If Princeton wins, and I think that Princeton does come out on top in that game in a very close one, that will be their 4th straight trip to at least the Sweet 16. I think it'd be hard to find a more consistent program in Ohio over the last 4 years. So that they've been very solid. And one thing about Josh Andrews, their head coach, he's done it this year without guys like Orlando Williams and Jordan Seibert. Those guys are gone. This is a new cast of characters, and they haven't missed a beat. So they're doing very well again.
I like March, don't you?
Marks?
March.
Oh, yes, March. Oh, they said Marks. I'm sorry. No, March. It's a great month. I'll be curious to see what happens as it shakes down. But that's all we have for this week. So let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, and how we can do better next time. Thank you.